Hi, welcome to my channel. I've lost 180 pounds with keto, carnivore, and counting calories. Don't forget to check the description to this video. I have links to some of my popular videos, a link to my Amazon account for a lot of things that you all ask about. Don't forget I have a bunch of playlists on the home page of this channel. Thank you. Y'all, we haven't done a big old plain ground beef in a long time, so we're going to do this, get this going. Yes, I got dirty dishes in my sink. But I remembered to put this in at about 11 o'clock last night. And so I'll get those in the dishwasher. You just worry about yourself. You worry about yourself. I need to grab a plastic liners. Hang on. Okay, so I cut it in half and then I just kind of saw down these little, the plastic part. Just kind of drop it in. Roll that off. Give that a pitch. We got another one over here off camera. Again, don't be judging. Don't be judging my sink situation. I'll get to it. It's just 11 o'clock last night. I didn't care. So. Callie! So now I'm going to add some water. Just gives it a little bit of broth. And I don't use a lot. And I do not season my meat as I crock pot it. I wait until the day I use it. You could add salt and pepper. But a lot of times I use my broth for the dogs. I've actually cut back doing that. So I'm only using about, I don't know, maybe a half cup or a cup in each one of these. So now, because everything's so full up here on my counter, I got so much going on, we're moving these to the table. Let's go. So I laid a power strip up here, and I have both crock pots on low, and every 1 hour I will come in with this meat chopper and break it up. You don't have to if you want to do it like a meatloaf. I just want my ground beef like ground up. So this is 10 pounds of 73%. You can see a lot of that fat in there. So that's 73%. You're going to get a lot of fat at the end of this. And the good thing is you can melt it down in a big pan and you make dog treats out of it. But anyway, so all right, I'll see you in an hour and I'll show you how I do this. This usually takes anywhere from 4 to 5 hours. So I just come in and when it starts looking like it's done, that's whenever I put it out in containers. Every hour, I just come in and I mush it up. If it's still partially frozen, I can't get it to break apart sometimes. But just every hour, I come in and break it up a little bit. And if I can't get the middle piece, then next time I come through, it'll break up again. You may not be able to see, but there's like just this center. I'll show you on the other one. You can really see that center is just frozen solid. It's like a little log right there. So anyway, that's frozen solid. So we'll come back in another hour. Okay, so it has been another hour, so that would have been, so meat has been in here for 2 hours. And I just come in every hour and chop it up. You'll see that, I'll show you a close-up of the other one. It chops up a lot easier as time goes by. The fat just starts melting and, you know, rendering and whatnot. Sorry. My alarm system has detected an intruder. At least an intruder out on the sidewalk. All right, see how it just goes right through it? And part of the reason why I add water is it helps keep it from sticking to the edges. And as usual, don't talk about my plastic because I do not care. You can say what you want to, but I don't. There's too many other things in this world that I should be worried about than cooking in plastic that was made to be cooked in. But if you want to be, that's okay. I don't fault you for it. Just don't tell me how bad I am for using plastic because it falls on deaf ears. Every time I use plastic, somebody's got to come at me in the comments, and I think it's funny. So you can come at me. I just ain't gonna pay no attention. All right, I'll see you in 1 hour. Okay, the timer has gone off. If you are tracking, it has been 3 hours. So it is pink inside, which is fine, but it's still gummy. So that tells me it needs to go a little longer. And usually I just have to take it 1 more hour after that. Like I said, I usually just do it 4 hours. But that center is still gummy. So that's why I keep it going. I know it's going to microwave for 2 minutes. But I don't know, with ground beef, I don't play around too often. Sometimes I do, but not today. Just depends on my mood. So there we go. I'll see you in 1 more hour. So I was gonna do the round eye roast and cut it into steaks and cook it today. I got so much meat, I can't. So I will do that next meal prep, like probably next weekend. We'll see if I can do that next weekend or the next. So I just wanted to let you know, because I know I had previously said I was going to cut those up and cook up some steaks today, but I ain't got room in my freezer for this ground beef and the chuck roast that I made and steaks. So I can't do it. So I'll do them next time. Okay, next thing. You want to know why I use them plastic? Now look at that. I don't even need to wash this. This is dry as a bone. I am going to put this in my dishwasher, but I don't need to. But I am, because I just like that. But that's why I use the plastic. So it is for all about all the food I prep on meal prep day and having as minimal work as possible afterwards. So again, look how clean that is. One little spot right at the very, very bottom. And yeah, that'll come out. Unless that's oh no, that's just the thingy. Anyway, yeah, I'm still going to wash it in the dishwasher. But that's why I use plastic. So yeah, buddy. All right, let's finish up our ground beef prep. So I take a big old slotted spoon and I zero out my scale on ounces, and I'm putting 7 ounces into each container. Whoa, that's 10 ounces. There we go. 7 ounces into each container. So we will see how many we come out with in the end. I usually get too much in here. And it can be 7.5, 7.2, 7 point something. I don't freak out too much. But, all right, I'm going to finish getting these dished up, and I'll be back. Hey, really quick, this is where you figure out your calories and macros for your meat. You know, you plug in however much your meat is into whatever app you're choosing. And going forth, this is where the rubber hits the road, because, you know, depending on how much meat you add is how much veg you can add. So and once you have all of your meats going to be the same amount of calories, and you don't have to do anything throughout the week except microwave it. You don't have to measure it. You don't have to track it. I mean, you can plug it in, just carry it over from the next day or whatnot. But once you do get this portion of your meal prep figured out, when you always know that you're going to have X amount of meat or X amount of meat for the week, Because maybe you got a week where you gained and you're like, you know, I think I'm going to cut back on my meat this week. I'm going to go down to 7 ounces instead of 8 ounces this week. You know, there's going to be times when you do something like that. And so, anyway, this right here, this meat portion is the part that is what is your, this, if you do this piece every week, every time, then you're going to always have your calories and your act together. This right here is super duper important. So, well, that's a hair over, but out there I got some extra fat. So now what you can do is you can set your crock pot in the refrigerator and wait till the fat part comes off, and then you can melt that fat down. We'll do it. So this is going to be like a longer video. Okay, so I'm going to set this bowl in the refrigerator and let the fat and water separate from each other. Look at that. We have 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 16, 17 meals right here of ground beef. So at this stage, you can season them if you wanted to. Remember, mine are not seasoned because I like to decide what seasoning I'm going to add whenever I'm doing my setup the night before. So this is all ground beef. It's all ready for me to grab and go. So I can just zhuzh it up whenever I'm making up my salad or deciding what I'm going to do with it. Or I can make it into a burger. I can do all kinds of stuff with it. So, yeah. So we have 17 meals here out of 10 pounds of ground beef. That's a lot of meals. And that thing was like $20-something, I think. Because I think it was like $2.70 something a pound. So for, we'll just say $28, we have 17 meals for $28. Ziggy, 28 divided by 17.
48 divided by 17 is approximately 228,235.
So for about $2, a little over $2. No, less than $2. Less than $2, right? Ziggy, 28 divided by 17.
28 divided by 17 is approximately 1.6471.
Yeah, $1.60. $1.60 right here. Each one of these is $1.60. Now you try going out and getting a hamburger, let's see, these are 8 ounces. You try going out, or 7 ounces, but close enough to 8. You try going out and getting you a half-pound burger for less than $2. You can't do it. You just can't do it. On top of, you know, you're going to get some broth if you do it, if you want. You're going to get some fat if you want. You could add the fat back into it. So right here, y'all, this is where it's at, man. Right here. Meal prep. 17 meals. $1.60 a piece. Right there. Okay, I'm putting these in the freezer. So I pulled the fat off the top of this, and it's in the oven. The oven is at 350. So now this is just beef gelatin, gelatinous beef and water. Make a good broth, so I'm going to pour it into here. Maybe. Could be used for me, my dogs, soup, you know, if you're feeling bad. So that's why one of those good things about, you know, when you're doing the ground beef, adding some extra water, because then you've got a good beef broth right here. And if you don't season it, you can use it for so many things. If you do season it, of course, you can use it for whatever you want to. But if it's unseasoned, you got more options with it, and you're not stuck with having to use it just one way. So I'm going to clean my mess up here. And when the fat has melted, I'll show you how we do our fat bombs for the dogs. I added a little bit of water, and then just a tiny bit to top it off. And then it just says beef broth. I know, it's hard to read my handwriting. I have trouble with it too. this and not bump it. Okay. So then that's it. That's all I do. And I'll just give it a little stir here. That's just fat. There might be a little bit of liquid in there. But now I'm just going to let it cool. It can cool all night long. And in the morning, it should be hardened up. And actually I'm going to put it in the refrigerator. And then we can cut it into bite-sized fat bombs for the dogs. Somebody had asked me if I would make them, so if I'd show how I make them. So that's all I do, is I take the fat from what you saw me make today, that 73% ground beef, and I melt it down. All right, I'm going to get this in the refrigerator, and I'll see you in the morning. This is the last phase of making dog treats. It's all hardened up, and I usually use a metal container. I usually use my great big sheet cake pan. So this is my first time doing this. I wonder if I can pop this out somehow. Hang on just a second. I'd like to have it out. Hold on. I can't get it out. Anyway, that's all right. So then I just go through and I make strips. I know this is I think this is a pastry cutter. I don't know what this thing is technically used for, but I always use it in making the dog treats. Let's see if they come out now. A little bit. There we go. That's just all the leftover liquid that was in there. So now, and usually I pop it in the freezer so that gummy liquid is not typically there. But so usually when I cut it, they're already frozen solid. And it's not going to like have any sticking problems like whenever I stick them in the freezer. So what I probably should do is put this in the freezer before I cut it some more. But it's not what I'm not going to do, because I ain't got that kind of time right now. So what I'll do is, plus it's easier to cut, like just what I just did, way easier than what it usually is. I think what I am going to do, you know, I always talk myself in and out of things as I'm recording. I'm going to flip them over this way and put gummy side up. Then I'm going to cut them. And then we're going to freeze them. We're going to freeze it this way so they don't stick together so much. I don't give them these all the time. These are kind of special. I give them these like whenever I have eaten and they've been waiting on me to get done eating. So now I'm going to put these on a cookie sheet. And when they've frozen a little bit, I will put them in this little container. And I'll show you what the others look like that are done. Well, there's only broken pieces, but that's how they look when they're done. So I'm going to pop this in the freezer, and then later on, probably this evening or whatever, I'll pull it out and I'll finish up. I'll just put them in this container, and that'll be their treats. Like I said, each might get one every day or every other day. So there you go. That is making fat bombs for your dogs. Okay, so they have been freezing now for a couple hours. So I want to break. Whoop, somebody's gonna get it. I'm gonna. Oh, Terry, you're making a mess. So now let's see if I can do this better. I got a lot going on here. I always have a lot going on. I can't never do something just simple. Can't do something easy peasy. That would make too much sense. So now I'm just going to kind of break this up a little bit so it can fit down in this bowl better. Now, there we go. So there's the dog's frozen treats. And this is what I do. They're right there. And that's what I do. Hang on, let me come out here further. Up. No! Hang on. Now we heard me. Sammy. Baxter, sit. Sit easy. Lou, sit. Good boy. Callie, you just get one for being pretty. There we go. And that's how I make their fat bomb treats. Okay, the end. Bye.